We're on the radio.
Yeah, we got it. Yep. How you been?
There's a group of people on the south side. We're just dealing with that right now. You in position?
Yeah, more or less, yeah.
I hold position.
Okay.
See me in the ATC tower.
We don't have eyes just yet.
I see him.
Give us a minute.
Who wants us to go there?
No, he says hold position. But he's in the ATC, he said.
Can you see him in there?
Yeah, I saw him.
Yep. We saw
He's
you
no
up
longer
there.
on the top, though.
Copy that. We're just negotiating with this third party. Trying to get him to leave.
Lewis.
Hello.
Hey. This is
Did you
how I
say
think
what
this
side?
should go down. You and I will raid a hostage, and then we'll meet in the center of the airfield, where we can be killed easily if anything goes wrong.
Trade a hostage.
Mm-hmm. I'll send you one of mine, you send me one of yours.
Alright, give us a minute to figure that out. Who do you guys plan on sending?
Do you have a request?
Highlander.
Highlander.
I might be able to make that happen.
Someone of
Depends on what
importance.
your collateral is.
I'll go.
Shifty.
It's a deal. There's a fortress on the south side of the airfield. Send him there.
South side of the
Alright.
airfield.
Where are we rendezvousing with Highlander?
Where do you want him?
Give us a minute. Where do we want Highlander?
What about that barn house with the fireplace?
We passed a barn house with a fire in it. I don't know if that was you guys or somebody else, but do you know the one? North side of the airfield, northish?
Malcolm. Barn house, north of the airfield. A fire. You know the one? He's en route.
So, Mr. Shifty, what's been the happenings, блядь?
What's been happening? That's
Yeah, what has been the happenings? What's going on, eh?
well,
How you doing?
that's Odyssey business, Vadim.
Hmm.
But yeah, been doing good.
You don't mind, Mr. Shifty. Place your radio on the table there for me. What's your opinion on all this, my friend?
If I give you my opinion, are you going to share yours as well, or is it going to be very confidential?
I'll share what I'm able to.
I think we've given you in my eyes, a very easy, quick decision to make to prevent any more blood being shed. But at the same time, if you guys are against what we're proposing, then I'm more than happy to go back to normal Vadim. The odds are probably in our favor.
Why do you say that?
We've had at 6 different occasions, we've had members of your club in the palm of our hands. And on those 6 occasions, we decided to let them walk. I don't see that changing moving forwards if we resume normality again. Only this time, I can't see us letting you walk. So let's just hope we get this figured out. Before we do resume, what are your opinions then? Where do you stand in all of this?
I stand with the decisions of the president, Mr. Shifty.
I figured,
He sees fit for the business to go. That is where I will go.
I figured that'd be your answer.
I don't necessarily like all this back and forth.
Well,
Bad for the business.
yeah, bad for business indeed. Fortunately for you, you've not been on the receiving end of it for the past 3 or 4 years. I'm sure you remember we used to get along quite well, actually.
I do. And I still have respect for you, Mr. Shifty.
Likewise. Likewise. Who's this one? Playing around with his guns?
Alan.
Figured as much. Hello, Alan.
Hello, Shifty.
This is quite the switch up, eh, from the Starlight Refuge.
That was a lifetime ago.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't think it was too long ago, Alan.
Long enough for me to realize that I would survive along that way.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably right. It's a shame. You had a good thing going for you back in the day. With Miller, Casper.
You know, I think there's one thing that a lot of people don't understand as to why we do what we do. All of this happy-go-lucky, all of these things that Odyssey has tried to facilitate over the years, Mr. Shifty, does no good but get you in an early death. Perfect example would be the unfortunate circumstances behind Mr. Bowe's death. Don't worry, I'm still out there killing as many Blackthorn members as I can for it. It's a shame what those bastards did to him.
One thing we can agree on, they need to go.
But I'll say this. Perhaps if it wasn't... Well, things went differently with Odyssey. They just cared for themselves instead of everyone else. Perhaps there'd still be a lot more people around. But what do I know?
What do you know, eh? What do you know?
I'll do what I need to do to stay alive.
I'm sure Lewis is presenting Joe with our plan, our request as we speak, and maybe later you will learn that we give less of a fuck about people as, compared to what we used to. Hey, Vadim.
Duh.
Anybody ever told you those glasses are a bit too small for your head?
Fuck you, блядь.
I tell him every day.
Fuck you, блядь.
That's his reply every time.
Shifty and send him back.
Head on over, Mr. Shifty.
James?
Go ahead.
See you around, Vadim.
До свидания. Good talk.
Fucking hell.
That was interesting.
Yeah, you had me panicking for a few minutes there.
I couldn't quite remember where the house was.
Okay.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
So Joe didn't really go for the, I don't know, our terms weren't enough for under the impression if he took our terms back and was like, yeah, this is okay, they would, the club would turn on him. Which is a different vibe that I get from Benjamin and Highlander. Maybe they're just stoic. I don't know. I could try to just go from the beginning, or if you guys have questions right off the bat, you can ask those first. It's up to you how you want to do this.
So, tell us how it went, and we'll save the questions.
All right. Well, we get out there in the middle of the airfield. We exchange the basic pleasantries. It was as Benjamin and Highlander said. His main focus was Blake. It didn't matter that I expressed that Blake pulled. None of that mattered. We killed his friend, and we owe him a blood debt. I told him there's no way I'm giving him anybody in Odyssey. And he kind of alluded to he would be interested in somebody else. He didn't exactly say who. But it was implied to be members of DAM because of the heat that he's got himself over Charlie. Joe also seems to think that Greenie is still a snitch. I told Joe that, we've heard about them charging people rent and shit in Sfregino for years. We're not that dumb. Henry's a loudmouth. We know how to read. There's a high possibility Joe is going to kill Henry anyway. Joe went out of his way to call Henry dead weight. In fact, he even appreciated my criticisms of Henry and the way that Henry handles himself. So I don't know. That's a mess internally on their part. Joe wants to talk to Greenie himself. I didn't tell him in the moment that we wouldn't want that to happen. I figured we probably got a window here of about 12 to 24 hours to make a decision on any of this. I told him that it's the House of Hope's business. We just want that place left alone, and we want Severograd left alone. But, just peace and coexisting, Joe said it's not enough. He still wants a body. Doesn't have to be an Odyssey body, doesn't have to be one of our friends. But, like he implied, the old guard of Dam. He barely brought up Runa. He called Runa a snitch, to which I replied, you know, she told us that the Wolves of Selene were trading you guys' jackets for small arms. And I said she communicated with us in that manner just so that we would not show up at the castle when FL showed up. He didn't bring it up again. He didn't push it. He didn't question it. He didn't make any grand statements about it. Just moved on. I don't know if that means it was acceptable or, you know, he doesn't believe me.
Well, let's...
I told him the truth, though. I mean...
Let's hope that's settled.
He didn't mention Alice, which I didn't expect him to.
Good.
They're fine with those terms, though, on top of us. What was the phrasing he used? It was if old guard Dam members start dropping like flies and it's not connected to me, I can sell that. That's what he said.
Dropping like flies. That sounds like more than one. That's a whole ask.
That's a big ask.
What good is...
Well, he followed it up, you know, I think he was just being grandiose there, but he followed it up with, you owe me a life. And he's like, there's a lot of people that would work as a worthy substitute.
What just my initial reaction to this. What is, one life, one member of Dam, in the grand scheme of things, going to do with such a large group? We're substituting one war for another. One that's probably going to be far worse.
It doesn't sound like there's even a guarantee that that would be enough. So I walked away thinking I was, you know, that I don't know if we can meet those demands. He did say if he gets the vibe that Greenie's a snitch, he's going to kill him. Can I be honest? With the we've been running a pretty toned down roster lately. We're much more low key. We're much more stealthy. We can take FL right now. I don't think we can take Dam. We certainly can't take both at the same time.
And that's the risk, right? Like, what if he's just playing us to get us in conflict with Dam?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Doesn't seem worth the risk.
I think Joe's not dumb. He knows that one member of Dam is not going to make much difference in the grand scheme of things, considering their size.
It's also very clear that he wants us to do it. He doesn't want FL attached with it at all. So we'd be taking all the heat in exchange for peace with FL.
I don't understand that. The FL have a group that are after one of, well, their president. They're actively looking to hunt down Joe and murder him. And they're too afraid to take the fight themselves. They want us to do it, essentially.
Yeah. He told me not to share that outside of those worthy of hearing it in Odyssey. Obviously, he probably doesn't want Dam to know he's trying to get us to kill him. I'm not saying we play that card immediately, but it is a card. He went out of his way to tell me not to mention it. We need to have a long think. I
can think of somebody FL might want. Like, again, we'd have to verify. I'd hate to go through all the work.
Who?
British Paul.
Oh, good God.
That man put a gun to Greeny's head and almost killed him. Y'all don't want it on your hands, I would do it myself.
Do we want peace with FL that badly then at that point? Where we want to push ourselves
My
to do
opinion,
something like that?
PP's a evil man as well, but
He's changed. I don't particularly like the man himself anymore, but
It's still the same thing, though. We'd be trading one war for potentially two. He's hanging around with the Merrymen again, and he's an ex-Firefly. If word got out that we did that on behalf of FL, we're cooked.
yeah, we're fucked. We're absolutely fucked.
I don't think it's worth it.
Personally, I don't think killing anyone on behalf of the Forsaken Loyalists is worth it, no matter who they are.
It would have to be a mutual enemy of ours right now. And currently that doesn't line up.
We don't owe them shit. Especially not the dirty work. We don't owe them that. I would be more than happy to come to some sort of a mutual agreement for a more permanent ceasefire, but yeah, personally I ain't doing that dirty work for them. I'd feel disgusting. I don't think I'd ever forgive myself, no matter who it was.
Yeah. I think the best case scenario that we walk away from this with, Greeny makes a more equal footing relationship with them, and we go back to war with them. We just keep it away from the household.